charge of Frawley. For 35 years, I've been a child development teacher, a marriage and family teacher, and I ran the on-campus daycare center at my high school. And throughout all this time, I incorporated American Sign Language at school, at the daycare center, and at my home. I lecture across the United States to parents, teachers, early childhood education professionals on the benefits and how to use American Sign Language with hearing children. I began signing when I was in college. I got a great job at the California School for the Deaf in Riverside as a dorm counselor. And I had 16 little boys, all multiple handicapped. My first day there, I walked in at 6 o'clock in the morning and I knew nothing. I didn't know any signs. Well, I had learned the alphabet thinking, well, this will help me talking to the kids, but I didn't realize that the words had signs. I didn't know. So the dorm counselor, the head guy said, all right, go wake up the kids. And I said, okay. And he says, you can't just call to them because they can't hear you. I said, okay. He says, so turn on the light, go up and shake them and say, wake up. And so that's what I did. And immediately the kids, they don't know who I am. And they gave me the sign of, this is a sign for girl. And I didn't know what that was, but they'd point to me and I was the only girl in the dorm. So I became girl. And that was just great. And within a few minutes, I learned the word for help. I already knew wake up now, and brush teeth, and get dressed. And it was just such a wonderful experience. And throughout the year, I was playing with these kids and working with them, and it just stuck. I knew hundreds of signs based on what these little kids taught me, so that when I started my teaching job in a high school, I just automatically started, randomly signing a few words like, I'm looking at you, and sit down, or are you all finished? And then later I get married and I have my daughter, and the first thing I did when I saw her, I said, you're beautiful. And I just automatically started signing with her and my other son as they grew up. Our goal with this channel is to provide you with tools and resources that you will need to become successful with signing activities. We chose American Sign Language, commonly known as ASL, because it's a real language. It's not just made up gestures. It has its own alphabet, dictionary, signs for the words, it uses gestures, facial expressions. And for our songs, we're using them in English word order, which is called contact signing. Okay, so all the signs are going to correspond to the words of the songs. Now, if you're new to signing, that's okay, because we're going to show you everything you need to know. And what's so beautiful about American Sign Language is that many of the words are iconic. That means they look like what they represent. For instance, this is the sign for walk. It's like 2 feet walking. For learn, you take it off the paper and you put it in your head. This is a sign for learn. So as you watch our videos, you're going to learn a whole bunch of signs. And then you're going to know them, because you're going to put them in your head. This is a sign for know. This is a sign for a monkey. This is, because that's what monkeys do, right? This is a sign for bird, like a beak of a bird. So it's just, I find it to be such a beautiful language. Keep in mind, you can choose to use as many or as few of the signs as you wish, based on your comfort level and the age and the ability of your child. I am not a sign language interpreter, but as a mother and a teacher, I have seen the benefits of using ASL in songs with my children for years. Not only is using ASL with songs a great way to interact and bond with your child, but it increases vocabulary, it enhances their language skills, it reduces crying, because now they are able to communicate. Now let's watch Lee as she shows you some basic signing information.
Now first, there's a few things that we need to learn about our hands. Now I am right-handed, so I'll be using mainly my right hand. But if you are left-handed, then you'll be using mainly your left hand. Now here is my right hand. Here's my thumb, my pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, and my little finger. Now when my hand is positioned like this, it's called palm out. But if I turn it around towards myself, well then it's called palm in. If I position my hand like this, it's called a cupped hand. But if I spread my fingers out like that, it's called a claw hand. Now if my hand is just flat like this, well it's called a flat hand. If I relax my fingers and my thumb, well, it's called an open fist hand. But if I tighten it up, it's called a fist hand. Okay, now, most of the time when we are signing, we sign in an imaginary box or an area right in front of us like this. But when we are signing our ABCs, we sign a little to the side like this. A, B, C. Good.
And like Lee said, it doesn't matter if you use your right hand or your left hand. It doesn't matter if you sign all the signs or just a few signs, but this is an important sign. So everybody do this. Okay, flap your hands back and forth. Now you need to keep your fingers together. If you spread your fingers apart, you're signing the word gray. We want them to keep your fingers together so that you're signing, it doesn't matter. This is very therapeutic. You can go sit in a corner and just do this all day long. Oh, look at that messy house. It doesn't matter. This is great. A big shout out to our friends in Texas. I was doing a workshop there recently, and these preschool teachers that had been to our workshop the year before came up and thanked us for teaching them this sign. It's just so much fun. That being said, there are some things that do matter when you're signing. For instance, if a sign is supposed to stay stationary in one place, you need to leave it there because there are stationary signs and there are movement signs. For instance, this is the letter T. If you're signing the letter T, you keep it by your shoulder stationary. But if you shake it from side to side, it becomes, I have to go to the bathroom. Okay, so letter T, bathroom, shake. This is the sign for I love you. It's sort of like the shorthand version of I love you. So if you want it there, you keep it by your shoulder. But if you move it around, it becomes airplane. And your facial expression is very important as well. This is a sign for happy. And when you sign happy, you need to smile. Because if you're signing happy, but you're looking all grumpy, it doesn't work. This is a sign for sad. So when you're sad, you need to look sad. Because if you're smiling, again, it doesn't work. And then the degree. This is a sign for cold. So your face has to look cold. And if it's really cold, your whole body gets into it. So this becomes really cold. Where you make a sign, that can become important as well. Like this, you squeeze your hand under your chin, and that's for orange. But if you take that same sign and move it out here, it becomes milk. If you take your index fingers and you point them up, bounce them off each other, this is a sign for star. But if you point them down, that's a sign for socks. And we do not have socks up in the sky, do we? No. Okay. Some signs become directional in that, like this is a sign for hurt. And if you sign it by your ear, your ear hurts. You have an earache. If you sign it up here, you have a headache. You sign it down here, your tummy hurts. So where you sign it might be important. And if you're signing with your child, be sure you have their attention and you always use the correct sign. Even if your child is maybe signing back a little bit different or a variation of it, as long as you're signing the correct sign, eventually they will learn it. And use your signs throughout the day. It will help you to remember them, and it's going to become just sort of second nature. For instance, if you need help with something, you can use this sign for help. This is help me, help you. And it just it just becomes fun and natural. Most of all, have fun. Singing is fun, signing is fun. Never make it forced or coercive, just have a whole lot of fun. And if you're signing with an infant or a toddler, try to connect the sign to the object, like this is apple, and this is the sign for apple. So you connect it to the object in the word, so as you sign it, you say it, apple. Or the action, like go to sleep, and you're going to close your eyes, so that they learn the word. Don't expect them to sign back immediately, but as you do it, they're going to catch on. For infants, we suggest that you start with signs that promote early communication, such as eat, more, all done, and hurt. Now, toddlers have a greater ability to learn more words, and you can add more words based on what they're interested in. And preschoolers enjoy the challenge and the fun of signing and using ASL with songs. They helps them with memorization and recall of their ABCs, their numbers, colors, nursery rhymes, animals. It's just a great way and a fun activity for that age group. For older children, it's not only fun and challenging, but they're being exposed to one of the most common languages in the United States. And it is a wonderful way to learn phonics rules. Each song comes with an instruction segment that teaches you all the signs for the song with a little input from me. And then there's a song segment that will allow you to sing and sign along to each song. Have a great time with our songs. Send us your comments, subscribe, share us with your friends, and remember, we play along and so can you. See you next time.
Play, play, play along. Come on and play along. Play, play, play.